So, the theory I'll be talking about today is social judgment theory. What is social judgment theory? It is a theory of attitude change, and it suggests that the extent of persuasion made by a certain message depends on how different the person's attitude is from the position that was advocated. Persuasion is much more likely to happen if the message advocates a position that the person finds acceptable or not completely objectionable. Where that person stands before that persuasive message was given is where that person's anchor is. Another very important aspect of social judgment theory are the three latitudes. The first latitude is latitude of acceptance, which is the range of ideas that a person sees as reasonable or worthy of consideration. The second latitude is latitude of rejection, which is the range of ideas that a person sees as completely unreasonable or completely objectionable. And the third latitude is the latitude of non-commitment, which is the range of ideas that a person sees as neither acceptable or objectionable. Another very important aspect of social judgment theory is ego involvement, which is the importance of an issue to someone's life, often demonstrated by membership in a group with a very known stand. One example would be Black Lives Matter. This group is known to be very left on the political spectrum and have very strong liberal beliefs. And those beliefs can cause them to be very involved with politics, and that is what leads to ego involvement, because it becomes a very important part of that person's life. Two other things that play a role in social judgment theory are contrast and assimilation. Contrast is a perceptual error where people judge messages that fall within their latitude of rejection as further away from their anchor than they really are. And assimilation is a perceptual error where people judge messages that fall within their latitude of acceptance as less discrepant from their anchor than they really are. Now we're going to talk about the boomerang effect, which is attitude change in opposite direction of what a message advocates, so the listener is driven away from the idea rather than drawn to it. And an example of that would be a liberal walking up to a Republican and saying, "I think that all people deserve free healthcare." And that Republican immediately says, "No, that is ridiculous." And it causes them to sway further away from the idea of free healthcare because that idea falls so far within the Republican's latitude of rejection. Here's another example. This is a really good example of the social judgment theory in all. So their anchor is the no free healthcare, so that is their latitude of acceptance, that area, and their latitude of rejection would be free healthcare. And so a liberal saying, "Oh my gosh, I think everyone deserves free healthcare," falls so far on to their latitude of rejection that there's just no way that that message is going to do anything. So yeah, thank you for listening to this presentation.